What's up, guys? I have here in front of me my finally finished third-person camera rig. I've been working on this for a while, and I finally got it done. I got the last piece that I've been waiting for. I ordered it on eBay from China, so it took a while to get here. And I got it, and I was excited, and I finally put it together. So here it is, all finished, and I want to show you guys how I did it. I would have liked to have shown you the complete process of putting it together, but I was too impatient and just kind of built it slowly as I acquired the pieces. So I'm just going to show you it all put together. My initial inspiration for making a third-person camera rig in the first place was Corridor Digital. They have 2 videos, as far as I know, where they use a third-person camera rig. And as soon as I saw it, I thought, you know, I gotta get something like that for recording airsoft games instead of just on my helmet, because I thought it looked really cool. And then I didn't do anything with it for a while, and then I saw Airsoft St. Louis made a video with the third-person camera rig that looks very similar to that, and they pointed me towards FKRairsoft, who also had a third-person camera rig that was very similar with PVC, and they also used a Contour, which is what I'm using. They used FKR used a Contour Roam. I'm using a Contour HD, but a lot of the things are pretty similar. So as you can see, this is my Pantac Wasatch chest rig. And it is a pretty flimsy rig. So the first thing I had to do before I was able to put this third-person camera mount on there was I filled the spaces that are made for plates. I filled them with cardboard. You know, I don't want to spend a ton of money on buying fake sappy plates just for this vest, because cardboard works just as well, I think. I'll show you inside the cardboard I put in there. So you see, I have, what is it, 5 layers of cardboard, just regular corrugated cardboard that I got probably from buying an airsoft gun. I cut up a box and put it in there, both in the front and the back, and I filled up the space and made it the correct shape, and now it is very rigid, and I needed that so that when I put on this vest, it'll stay tight for the most part, even when I don't have that many magazines in the pouches. It'll stay tight and it'll stay rigid and keep the third-person camera rig, keep the arm pretty straight. So I'll show you here on the back how I put this together. I have these 3/4-inch PVC pipes, and they are pushed through the MOLLE webbing on the back of the vest extremely tightly. So this is really never going to move anywhere. As you can see, I have 2 going down on the sides here, and there's 3 spaces in between them. And then I have these elbows on the bottom to connect it there to keep it from, if I didn't have this, it would rack back and forth. And then also on the top, the same thing. And instead of using PVC glue, because I wanted to be able to take this apart if I ever decided I didn't want it on this vest anymore and I wanted to put it on a different one, I just drilled holes and I put these thumb screws in there to use like set screws to hold it together, so that it won't be able to twist in there, but I didn't have to glue it. So I can just unscrew those by hand and remove this from the vest if I ever want to sell the vest, or if I just want to put this rig on another vest. Another feature that I decided to do differently on my rig was that I didn't want to make the arm a permanent part of this rig, because then it would just be always attached to this, because I don't want to have to remove this after every game if I don't want it. I want to be able to use this vest sometimes without having the third-person camera rig on it. So I can just leave this framework in the MOLLE webbing, and then whenever I want to, I can put my arm in, this is the arm that the camera is attached to. I can push this into this T-joint right here and tighten this thumb screw right here as a set screw, and it keeps it from moving. It doesn't move at all. It's already very tight in there, and you see I have these 2 red lines on there, and so that's how I know that I'm going to get it back at the right angle. So I can remove it and I can put it back in, and I know it'll always be in the same spot. All I do is line up these 2 red lines here. And it'll be good. I just have to wiggle a little bit to get it in there. And now that those lines are lined up like that, I just tighten this screw, and this isn't going to move, and it'll stay rigid just like that. Now, because I didn't make the arm permanently attached to the framework on the back of the vest, that means that if I want to, I can have this camera on either side of, on either shoulder. So if I want it on my left shoulder, I can just push it in here and tighten this set screw. And if I want to do a game where I have it on this side and point it in a different direction, I can just stick it in there and do the same thing with that set screw. So that gives me a lot more versatility. I don't have to always keep it pointed in one direction. I can adjust it if I feel it needs to be adjusted, and I can have it on either shoulder, whichever one I feel like would be more appropriate for whatever game. Like if for whatever reason I need to be left-handed, then maybe I would change the camera to the other side. But for the most part, I like to have it on the left side and point it a little bit to the left, because when I'm shooting a gun right-handed, you tend to crouch a little bit and point, and you turn your body sideways, so the camera ends up pointing in the right direction. So now I'll show you how I chose to attach the camera to the end of the arm that sticks off of my back. In the version that FKRairsoft made, he used a heat gun to heat up the PVC so that he could warp it and bend it to get the angle that he wanted. I wanted mine to be a little more adjustable. I wanted it, well, a lot more adjustable, so that I didn't have to use any kind of tools to move it if I wanted to change the angle. If I look at a video and I see that it's pointed a way I don't like it, then I just want to be able to change it right then. So what I did was, it cost a little bit more money. I think that this cost me maybe 10 bucks on eBay, but I think it was worth it. So what this is a ball head for a tripod, and it actually came with a 1/4-20 threaded end, so that you could put a tripod screw in the bottom of it and just stick it right on top of your camera tripod, and then you would have a 360-degree ball swivel for your tripod. So I bought that, and the PVC pipe fits right inside of it. I took out the bottom piece that was holding the ball in, so now the PVC pipe holds the ball in, and drilled holes in it so that this set screw, this is what actually clamps down on the ball. You turn that to tighten it, and then the ball won't move. You loosen it up to loosen the ball so that you can turn the ball around and swivel it in all directions. So I drilled a hole in the PVC so that I could push it up in there and clamp it tight, and then put the screw in, and the PVC will not pull out. So I have this ball head. Has a platform on the top where you would be putting your camera, but where you would be using your tripod screw to attach a camera. But with the Contour HD, I didn't want to spend 30 bucks getting a tripod adapter mount, because I just think that's ridiculous. So I just used the regular adhesive mount that comes with the Contour camera and attached it to the platform. So now I'll show you how easy it is to adjust this. As you can see, there's a screw that goes into the ball right here, right there, and it goes through this platform. And this platform is actually kind of small, because the adhesive mount is a couple inches. So what I did to make the surface area bigger for the adhesive, so the adhesive would have more to stick to, is I put a screw through it and a washer in between, and tightened it up, because this platform has a nut inside of it, and just tightened it up on there, and put some glue on the threads to lock it, so that now it has a bigger surface area to adhere to. And that's just a regular flat washer on there. And then so I've stuck the adhesive mount on top of that, and the adhesive mount has this ring that's got Velcro inside of it and teeth, so that it won't turn once you set it in there. And so I can take that off very easily whenever I want to, and just put it back in, get the right angle, put it back in, and then if I need to tweak it just a tiny bit more than those teeth would give me, then I just loosen this screw right here, and since this is a ball, it just goes wherever I want it to go. And I can move it in any direction and point it anywhere. And like I said, this did add about $10 to the build, but I definitely think it was worth it to have that adjustability. Whenever I need it, I don't have to just stick with what I have and wait until I get my hands on some kind of tool to be able to fix it. So now I'll show you what the vest looks like when it's on. So there it is, all tightened up, and as you can see, when I move around, the camera moves with me. There's not all that much lag. It doesn't stick behind me, because now this back isn't floppy anymore. If I hadn't put the cardboard in, then since it'd be so floppy and compressible, it would just kind of like squish it and move back and forth. It would keep wobbling after I move. So I like that it sticks with you and the movement is very fast, and it doesn't shake too much when I walk. So now I'm going to go inside and get some guns, and I'll show you guys what it looks like from the third person point of view with my contour camera, and I'll shoot some guns and show you guys what that looks like.